Former Vice President Kamala Harris has had enough of paid protesters showing up at her signing events. Somebody said, well, why would you say paid protesters? Well, who else would be showing up? Unless they were paid to come to try to disrupt her. She's not even the president of the United States, and they're blaming her for what's going on in the country. Tyrone Bowman Live found this video courtesy of Roland S. Martin, or Roland Martin Live. The caption reads, Kamala Harris is fed up, snaps at protesters. Quote, you have made your point, period, enough. Quote, close quote. Let's get right into this video. I don't want to do any time talking. Check it out for yourself. Tell me what you think about it.
Speaking of folks who can't stop running their mouths, these Gaza protesters, last night, Vice President Kamala Harris was speaking at the Warner Theater, and here they are. She trying to sit here and be on stage, and they got to show their ass. Okay, so here we go. Watch this.
Bam.
Turn people on. And we should never let somebody else's limited to see who we are. Limit who we think and know we are. Let that not be a limiting factor in your life. Because they'll figure it out soon enough. They'll figure out who you are soon enough. And you know, I sometimes think about, you know, I am not president of the United States.
All right, before I finish this video, the woman is not running for anything. The woman wrote a book. And yes, these are paid MAGA racist protesters constantly showing up. They're paid racist MAGA protesters. How are you going to blame her for what's going on in the nation? And the woman is not even the president of the United States. Some people are so idiots. So just insidiously stupid. Trump is the president, not Harris. They had an opportunity to elect her and chose not to. The woman is a private citizen minding her business. Wrote a book, just like all the Republicans who come out of office. They write books, go on a book tour. Don't no black people show up and interrupt them when they're selling their books and telling their lies. This woman has had enough. She should have cussed them all the heck out. She's had enough of being harassed, enough of being labeled. It doesn't matter whether she's black, white, or biracial. The woman's a human being. That's the end of it. She's flesh and blood just like the rest of us. And she has a right to be angry. She has a right to be pissed off. She has a right to react, just like you all in the comments section are always reacting to everything all the time. Your emotions are out of control. I've never seen anybody be out of control more than the Republicans. The racist, bigoted Republicans, always out of control, night and day, and then get upset when somebody addresses them on their blatant and patented money-making scheme of keeping individuals pitted against one another. That's the bottom line. And if I want to show her on this channel, I'll show her. Matter of fact, let me rewind a little bit. People have no to get mad because a black man like me, who's independent thinking, speaking, and articulate, I say what I want to say when I want to say it, just like you say what you want to say when you want to say it. You don't get to lecture me and tell me what I can and cannot do. This channel is for black people per se. It's a different perspective. There are black people who are Republicans, and there are black people who are MAGA. I don't have a problem with that. If they choose to be a Republican, if that's their persuasion or political ideology, I support that. But at the same time, they don't get to tell other people that they're wrong because they're part of the Democratic Party. That's what's wrong with this nation now. Everybody's trying to tell everybody else what to do. How about if you all just do what you want to do, leave other people alone, and let them be persuaded by his or her own convictions, their own political ideologies. I have associates and friends from all sides, Republicans, Democrats, MAGA. It doesn't matter with me. I can sit down and listen to them objectively and still be their friend at the end of the conversation. So let's get back to it. I'll deal with Africa another time. Right now I'm dealing with Harris.
Feeling, if you play it again, turn the audio down. That was like the VP, like, I'm sick of this bullshit. Like, if you read her body language, come on, play it again. We'll talk. So you just audio down, audio down, audio down, audio down. Candace, look at Candace. This is her body language when she stands up and points. Candace was like, "What? I'm sick and tired of y'all asses. Okay, y'all getting on my damn nerves."
Yes, and you know what, Roland? I like this version of her. I like this I'm free now version of Kamala Harris. Because honestly, when she was running, during those 107 days, there was a part of her that was constrained. We knew that there was another part of her that wanted to break out. And in this book, on this tour, she's able to do it. We have seen that look from women. We have seen that stance, that scowl after, and we know exactly what it means. I'm sick and tired.
She jumped out that seat. She jumped out that seat. She stepped, pointed her finger. She's like, I'm sick of y'all asses. This is some bullshit. Interrupted me again at my damn book signing. Look at her, see? She like, all right, listen, see, all right, I'm gonna let y'all ass talk. Y'all getting on my nerves, this bullshit. See, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to answer the question. I'm trying to be cool. But no, y'all keep pressing me. See, y'all gonna make all that Oakland, that Bay Area, y'all gonna make that too short just come out in this damn in the theater. I'm trying to be, cause see, she turned to the person. First, she's like, look, enough of this shit. Look at this. Point. I ain't the damn president. Go talk to his ass.
That's right. That's right. And listen, at the end of the day, you know, when she gets like that, and when women get like that and have that look, you know, you are the one that's going to be embarrassed on the other side. They were trying to embarrass her. That wasn't going to happen. That's not going to happen to her on this book tour or any further. I knew when she said that going for Joe Biden was a reckless decision, but she also blamed herself for supporting that. I was like, that's the Kamala that we need to see. That's the Kamala that we need to see to help make some change. I loved it, every bit of it.
I mean, Matt, she jumped up, Matt, and responded. Come on, Matt. She jumped up. Can we see Matt? Appreciate it. She jumped up and responded. She was looking like Sarkeesian in the locker room after losing last week to Florida.
Oh, let me tell you something. One of your staff members, to be unnamed, texted me and said that to be an alpha, you got to be petty. It's a conditioned precedent. So, you know what I'm saying? I want you to know. We know you petty. Your people know you petty.
I'm unbothered.
You have to bring Sarkeesian into
I'm
this.
unbothered.
In any event.
No, I'm just making an analogy.
Nah, don't miss me with the BS analogy. You was being petty, because that's what you are. But let me go ahead and make my point. Or you want to yell me down like normal?
You did hear from me. You did hear from me last Saturday. I'm at a dinner. Okay.
I was at a dinner. I really was.
Okay.
And I was mad when I saw your text come through. That's not the point. In any event, I like that she stood up to these hecklers, but I do also think that there's a real conversation that should be had about kind of how long or enduring your I don't want to say your duty is to the people that you serve, but when you're the vice president of the United States, I mean, I think it's just expected that there are going to be people who always take umbrage with what you did while you were in office. Now, she's not currently in office.
Look, he just blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The Democratic Party should have never ran Kamala Harris to begin with. It was a dumb decision in the middle of a presidential campaign to throw her in there like that. It was a no-brainer. That's why the Democratic Party has to restructure and reorganize. Let me answer this comment here. You want us to get along, but only by... No one is... Listen, let's get something straight. I am not a politician. I'm not here to tell you or anybody else what to do with your life. Understand that. You can get along with people or you don't have to get along with people. Hell, family members don't get along, but they're still family. Don't play with me. Family members hate and despise one another. But in the time of tragedy, in the time of trouble, families pull together because they're still family. And don't tell me it's not true, because we all have families. And we don't all get along with our family members all the time. Half the time, we don't even speak to each other. Unless it's a funeral, death, sickness, or people need money. Family members don't contact each other unless there's a crisis going on. You know it's the truth anyhow. When they're doing good, they don't contact you. When they're doing bad, they call under the pretense, I was just calling to see how you're doing. How you calling to see how I'm doing? I haven't heard from you in 5 years. Get to the point. What do you want? And 100% of the time, it's always about money. It's not about anything else.
And we can have arguments about the most appropriate time and place to do that. But this doesn't surprise me. And sometimes I think a shakeup of the respectability politics, like this is an event, you can't come in and interrupt it, is exactly what we need, because too much of the decorum is what we, defer to.
Try
and
to imagine what
to
would
not
happen.
have to sometimes speak to their constituents and speak to those whom they serve. However, obviously, the issue in this situation is that she's no longer serving. So this is a book tour. I don't think she has to allow people to shout her down at her book tour. And, I think it's good that she told them to kick rocks. I mean, I think there is a question about discourse, about how long that should continue.
Hey, Michael, I think she's going to hit somebody with a go to hell pretty soon.
She's going to slap the shit out of somebody. That's what's going to happen. Okay. And these little protesters, I want to know who's financing them, who's funding them. But what they don't seem to understand is the vice president doesn't set policy. J.D. Vance don't set policy. Mike Pence didn't set policy. Dan Quayle didn't set policy. So you get mad at the vice president, but when you go, if you go back to March of 2024, when she was in Selma, Alabama, when they were commemorating Bloody Sunday, she talked about the deal that was on the table for a ceasefire. And if you listen to her tone during the campaign in regards to the Palestinians, it was a much more sympathetic tone than coming from Joe Biden. And she also wrote about that in her book as well. But Netanyahu wanted Trump back in office.
Of course.
He knew Trump would allow him to do whatever
Of course he
wanted
did.
to
Of course
do.
he did.
And these same protesters don't want to talk about the
Again, they don't.
ceasefire that Biden Trump negotiated.
But they also don't show up at JD Vance events.
No, they
They
don't.
don't show up to Donald Trump events. Donald Trump it periodically has rallies and speaking things like that. They don't go and those and act a fool. And there's rapid famine in Palestine right now. In the Gaza Strip.
Well, now that we have this ceasefire, hostages being exchanged, let's see what happens after this and who they start shouting down. We'll see. All right.
Hello, I'm Isaac.
There you have it. I wish I had more on Kamala Harris. 107 days. Never surrender. Never quit.